Hello, and again, welcome to Bit Depth. I'm Santiago Ramones. Across from me is,
Caleb Starr,
otherwise known as,
Leotie.
thank you for saying that out loud because you can't really know how to pronounce it based on looking at it.
Yeah. What the guy from KOSU always pronounces it Leotie, which I mean
guess
it's a
that's kinda cool.
traditional Native American name, so that might be the actual pronunciation, but Leotie just fits the vibe of
No,
the
yeah, yeah.
music and it's goofy.
It's a
so
little bit more chill.
yeah, yeah. Plus it's more comfortable just saying Leotie than Leotie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just think of like a lion wearing a tie,
Named
a
Leo.
Leo tie.
Maybe. Yeah.
Where does the name come from? That's not my usual first question, but let's go.
I think I was learning Oklahoma history in high school, and so then I wanted to play music but didn't have a name, so then I just looked up Native American names and found Leotie. It's a female name
Okay.
from the Fox tribe, and it means flower of the prairie.
Lovely.
Yes, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, your name by itself is already pretty neat.
Oh, Caleb Starr.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it'd be cooler to have like an Iron and Wine vibe. I like the idea of performing under a name rather than myself.
Yeah.
To me, it makes it, yeah, it's more than just me. It's like a character.
Sure, yeah. It allows you to be not you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good to keep me and that separate, even though it is me. But just like the idea of having this secret presence or whatever is cool.
That is cool. So the actual first question, what do you do?
What do you mean? What do I do? Like play music?
Yeah. What do you, well, I mean, yeah, you play music. What do you do?
I am a songwriter,
Yes.
a musician, a singer, a guitar player.
You draw some things.
Sometimes artist. Yeah. Yeah, but mainly a songwriter.
Okay.
I don't even consider myself to be a guitar player or a singer. I just prefer to say songwriter.
It encompasses many of the things.
It does. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't be a session player. Like I wouldn't care to fill in
Sure, yeah.
for somebody. So yeah, I kind of prefer the term songwriter.
When did you start doing music?
Started playing guitar when I was 11. The middle school I went to had a guitar club, and so after school every day, I just go hang out with like a bunch of kids, and the teacher would take us out into the hall one by one and teach us a couple things. The first song I learned was Iron Man, and it was like the one string version, just easy, simple. I remember going home that day, showing my dad, and feeling pretty cool. Like, I know how to play guitar.
Yeah. And then at what point did you realize that music is what you were going to do?
That's kind of a hard question. Music was definitely just always something I gravitated towards because it made me happy. And the idea of it being a career was always there, but it never really clicked that it could be my career. But honestly, I never really became serious about it until I came to ACM. Because here at ACM, I felt like there was just all the opportunities seemed more obvious here. It was like shown to me by teachers and fellow students.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, well then maybe I should keep going.
Yeah.
Keep doing this.
Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much just in the city. I haven't really been out of the city. I've been to Tulsa and Grove a lot though, because I have family that lives out there. But Yeah, mainly the city.
Okay. So was ACM just kind of like the no-brainer? Like, I do music. That's the thing.
Yeah, for I wanted to go to school to be an architect because I thought, oh, I like to draw,
Yeah.
and I knew you would design buildings, but and like sketch them out. But my dad was the one that told me about ACM, and he said, "No, you should probably do this. I think it's what you want to do, and
Yeah.
it'd be fun." And I was like, "Okay." And then when I got here, I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
So very happy I made that decision.
That's pretty counter to what you would expect a parent to say. It's
My
like you could be an
parents,
architect and make like a whole
I
lot of
mean,
money.
they're not that much older than me, so that my dad definitely got it. My dad's the one that showed me all the music I listened to, pretty much. So he was very supportive from the beginning.
What's the first song that you learned how to play and sing?
Ooh, I I think it was Jeff Mangum of Neutral Milk Hotel covered a song called "I Love How You Love Me," which is by somebody else, which I can't remember the name of, but I remember in high school I was in art club and we were having a Christmas party, and so I asked the teacher if I could play for the students, me and a friend. So I started going home and learning a bunch of songs, and that was definitely one of the songs. I think that was like the first song I really decided, oh, I'm gonna learn this.
Yeah.
I don't play it live
Right,
now
well.
or anything, but yeah, it was definitely one of the first songs I really liked playing and singing along with.
What was the first song you wrote?
Yeah. I guess in middle school,
Yeah.
maybe I didn't really like sing it or play it.
Sure.
But I remember I had this dumb little chord progression, and then I just wrote down lyrics, and I thought it was cool. It was called "This Song Sucks," and back then I thought I could be punk rock, and didn't work out.
Have you like looked at it since?
No, I don't even have that notebook anymore or remember. I kind of remember the melody, but yeah, no, that's never gonna be anything.
It'll be on like your 12th
The
studio
B
album or something.
sides,
Yeah.
the songs I thought I could fix.
Yeah. What were you listening to that sort of first made you want to become a songwriter?
That would be Death Cab for Cutie, my favorite band of all time.
Yeah.
How did I? I remember seeing them on like an indie rock award show on MTV like a long time ago called the Woody Awards, and like Donald Glover hosted it, I think. And
Neat.
I remember seeing, I turned on the TV, and they were the first like thing I saw, and I just thought they were a bunch of like older, cool looking dudes, and I definitely liked the music. And I mean, Chris Walla, who's not in the band anymore.
Right.
I remember seeing him having like emo swoosh hair and being like this old guy, but yeah, they were cool, and the song was really cool. And then
What was it?
it was "Meet Me on the Equinox" from
Wow, okay.
that
That's
the
a little
New
bit
Moon.
later.
Yeah. And I just thought that was cool. I liked Ben's voice a lot. And so then I just looked them up more,
Yeah.
and then fell in love with the music.
Mm.
What made them my favorite band, though, is when I was in high school, you know, it's a high school is a kind of where you develop, but it's also like a hard place
Yeah.
to be in when you're a nerdy musician kid.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's a hard place to be in no matter who you are.
Yeah.
Even if you're the most popular kid in school.
That's
like,
right.
it-
there's just so much
High school
pressure
sucks.
to who you are and
Yeah.
all that. But transatlanticism was
Mhm.
something I listened to almost every day that made me not feel weird. And
Mhm.
it like helped me get to
Yeah.
school and then want to go back the next day. And today that's my favorite record of all time
Mhm.
and still my favorite Death Cab record.
Yeah.
I just love every song on that album. I love
Mhm.
what it's about, what it represents. It makes me not feel alone.
Mhm.
And at the same time, it also back then made me feel like I had a friend
Mhm.
just listening to this dude with a soft voice talking about how people suck, but he sucks sometimes, and
Yeah.
but it's all going to be okay. And yeah,
Mhm.
that was cool. It was comforting.
Yeah. Um, what do you write songs about?
Uh, I I like to write songs about feeling uncomfortable. I like I mean, some songs are about people or a relationship, but I'm a very codependent person and an anxious person, so I like to write about not feeling like that or writing about that, but then eventually,
Well, expressing
yeah,
it.
the song lets me know that it's going to be okay or whatever.
Mhm.
But two, I love writing about issues because, in a way, sitting there trying to work out the lyrics, what I want to say is me working out the problem.
Mhm.
And so at the end of the day, like I feel so much better if I'm just having a bad day and then I try to write about it. Then, yeah, I usually feel better when I'm
Mhm.
done, even if I don't write an entire song, but just putting pen to paper or
Yeah.
playing really helps.
Mhm. So is like are the lyrics more important to you than the music?
They're both equally as
Mhm.
important. I'm so specific. I can't just write a song.
Mhm.
I need to play something and then it's got to like trigger something to where I'm like, okay, yes, I'm going to work with this. And then
Mhm.
lyrically, either it comes out or it doesn't.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I just need to be happy with it. But yeah, I'll go back and either scrap a song and just completely rewrite it or
Mm.
just sit there until the right thing happens. So,
Yeah. Um what is kind of your songwriting process?
usually just guitar. I'll just play around on my acoustic and then it all kind of happens from there. Um, Usually, so once I come up with something, then I'll kind of lay out the structure. Okay, verse,
Mhm.
verse, bridge, chorus, whatever, and then the lyrics.
Mhm.
Um, but honestly, I can't continue like fully writing a song if I don't have the chords and then the melody
Yeah.
because I'm yeah.
um what oh you've utilized the sources of ACM successfully, it seems. Um,
Maybe
um,
maybe not as much as I would like.
from what I can tell, more than a lot of people. So how do you get the most out of this school?
Yeah, I'm a very introverted person, and it's funny because the one thing that I did was be a very extroverted person,
Mm-hmm.
and not well. Yeah, I put myself out there. I
Mm-hmm.
just talked to a lot of people and
Yeah.
thought, hey, I should go talk to this person, or this person should know who I am, and
Mm-hmm.
then it all kind of came together. I mean, I work here, so that
Yeah.
helped too.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I would just say networking and talking to everybody,
Mm-hmm.
becoming friends with whoever I could
Mm-hmm.
definitely helped.
Um, how did the like karaoke schmo thing happen?
Um, I had a class with Sephra, and she was super cool. I remember her telling me from the first time I did have a class with her, her saying that she had her own label And, you know, I started writing songs like a year later and just confidently went up to her and I was like, hey, if there's any chance, I'd love to just be on your label or
Yeah.
work with you. And she was into the idea, but nothing came out of me saying that, but it definitely opened the door.
Mm-hmm.
But then I played Metro Music Fest last year,
Yeah.
2018,
The
in
last time that they had
the
Metro Music
actual
Fest.
festival.
Yeah.
And she came and brought her husband, and then they both came up to me after and were like, "Yeah, let's do it." So
Yeah.
that's kind of how that happened,
Yeah.
just from me going up to her and letting her know I was interested.
What was the whole
The
thing like?
process was it was actually very cool. I was a little nervous. Recording has always made me uncomfortable because I'm a very picky person, but too, like, the idea of having to record something perfect was, I don't know, stressful, and I feel like I mess up a lot. But recording was very comfortable. Her husband Matt is so nice, and
Yeah.
he just made me feel at home. I think the best thing too is that apart from them being so nice, their studio looks like a bedroom.
Yeah.
So there was absolutely no pressure, and they were both just so sweet and about the situation.
Yeah.
So it was really easy just to get in there and knock out a song.
Yeah.
And two, they were so helpful with the production side of it because I had no idea what I wanted karaoke to sound like.
Mm-hmm.
So they definitely had a big part in that.
Yeah.
I mean, they both sang on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've been getting gigs and doing the thing.
To the best of my
Yeah, yeah.
abilities, yes.
And I mean, that's something that I still have a hard time with. It's just
Same.
finding the time and bothering people to book the
Yes.
things.
For me, it's the bothering.
Yeah.
It's really weird trying to talk to people. Hey, let me play here.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, I'm getting a little bit talky here, but
No, go for it.
it's like a
Please.
weird thing that it's like, I think I'm worth your time for you to have me on your thing. Like, it's not necessarily what you're saying,
Thank you.
but it's kind of what you're saying. And so it's really hard to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I- you know, like I said, being an introverted person, it's hard to talk to people. It just, for some reason, it just seems scary, but it's not. But two, the best thing about reaching out to somebody and then they let you play is like so rewarding.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much I would love performing until I did it.
Yeah.
It's like the best part of being a musician.
Yeah, yeah.
The adrenaline, like the anxiety, just everybody looking at you is like, it's cool and very
Yeah, yeah.
comforting in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I hate getting up in class and presenting, or even on the first day of class, like introduce yourself. Like I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But man, I'll play for anybody who's willing to listen.
Yeah. And that's an odd thing, and I really feel that too, that like, yeah, it's hard to go up to a stranger and talk to them, but also I'm going to go in front of a whole bunch of strangers
Yeah.
and pour my soul out to you.
And in a way, that's like talking to a bunch of people about your feelings, and then they're gonna listen
Yeah.
because you're performing. So
That's what they're there for.
so that's kind of nice and also therapeutic in a way, having people to talk to, sort of. So that's one of the reasons why I love it too.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know how to phrase that as a question, but it's just like, what's wrong with our brains that we like being introverted but also extroverted in that same sense?
Yeah, it is weird. It's again, like I wouldn't want to talk or present in class, but yeah, I'd love to play.
Yeah.
That is very weird, and it's definitely weird when I tell people that I'm a musician and I like to perform because they're like, "You're so quiet. Why would you do
Why would you
that?"
do that to yourself?
Yeah, and I'm like, "But it's the
It's
best
the
at the same
best.
time." I always thought of it as that's like, being a musician has shaped me. That's who I am.
Hmm.
That's where I feel like I belong. So performing is like, that's where it makes sense to
Hmm.
me. Even though like having some big conversation with a bunch of random strangers is scary opposed
Yeah,
to performing in front of a bunch
yeah.
of strangers.
Yeah. But at least you have like a script.
Yes, in a way, which is nice. Honestly, though, I never really think about what I'm going to say between songs. I
Mm,
just let it happen.
yeah.
And usually it works out pretty well. People are in tune to what I have to say, and I hope and would think they like the music. So,
Mhm.
yeah, it goes really well.
Yeah. Um, there's sort of two questions in this question. What's a musical hurdle that you've been trying to work past, and you're still struggling with? And
Hmm.
what's a musical hurdle that you've gotten past and that you never thought you would be able to?
Ooh, well, two birds right here.
Yeah.
Um, Getting shows.
Mm,
That's for both. That's one thing I struggled with, just feeling uncomfortable trying to figure out who to talk to or
mm,
putting myself out there to do
mm.
that always seemed scary. But then once I did it again, it was just so rewarding, and
Yeah.
I just absolutely love performing. I
Yeah.
want to do it more,
Yeah.
and I always kind of beat myself up. I'm not doing it enough, but I am doing it, which is good. But
Mm,
I just want to do it more.
yeah. Sort of broader philosophical ideas, but what makes music important?
It it's it's like I said earlier, it's like a best friend,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the one thing that I can talk to in a
Mm-hmm.
sense that will talk back and completely gets what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, and I totally get what it's saying.
Yeah.
So it's important because it makes things better.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the one thing I love the most.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, not above family, but it is like family.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to me.
Yeah.
Like I don't really know how to express how important it is. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
like I would do anything for music almost, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's definitely the one thing I couldn't live without.
Mm-hmm. Um, what is your goal as a musician? Where do you want to be in X amount of years?
I really would like to, I want to be a touring musician who people want to come
Mm-hmm.
see. Like it'd be cool to be on TV or whatever. But, if I could go from town to town playing all sorts of venues and be able to live off that, then
Mm-hmm.
that's great. That's the goal
Yeah.
at the end of the day. And it'd be, it'd be cool to be like Elliott Smith or something.
Mm.
He was just a acoustic performer who did incredibly well and was
Yeah.
able to play venue to venue. He's on
Mm-hmm.
the Oscars back in 99 or 97, something like that. But yeah, that's the end goal.
Yeah. Do you see yourself having like a band or something, or is Leotie kind of supposed to be you with your guitar?
Sonically, it's definitely going to be an intimate thing.
Mm.
But having other people in it is something I have thought about, but I don't think it would ever be a dynamic like guitar, bass, drums.
Mm.
Like maybe a bass player, and I have a friend who I've been wanting to come play with me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it, it almost feels too precious to invite anybody else in. But there are different sounds eventually that I will need to where I will have people come
Yeah.
help me with. But yeah, it's it's always going to be me at the end of the day
Yeah.
with help from friends or whatever. Yeah. I
Yeah.
hope that answered the
No,
question.
yeah. Is Are you sort of stuck in this genre, whatever the genre is, but do you feel like you're trapped by it in a way?
What genre would that be?
Like acoustic singer songwriter act?
Um, I no, I don't feel trapped by that. I mean, I am a singer songwriter. I always put myself in like the indie genre because that's definitely the people I would play with.
Yeah.
Listening to indie music for so long,
Yeah.
there's absolutely no way to that you could listen to the music I make and tell me it's not.
Sure.
So, but too at the same time, that whole indie world is something I latched onto when I was 11. Because that's when my dad showed me like the Flaming Lips, Modest Mouse, the Shins. So I just fell in love with that world.
Yeah.
That nerdy, intimate, emotional thing was
Yeah.
cool. It kind of bums me out when people like shit talk indie or say it's so mainstream or whatever, because to me that's not whatever people want to consider indie. If it's like Mumford and Sons or the Lumineers, like that's not.
So, what is indie?
To me, for the longest time I couldn't answer that question, but just
Right.
recently I have. To me, it's like nerd, intimate, emotional, rock music, or soft spoken
Yeah.
music or
Yeah.
whatever. It's just like a geeky person who is
Yeah.
very insecure about himself, and that's cool. And I would definitely say that that is a sound. Like, for example, Iron and Wine is definitely a nerdy, soft spoken, intimate songwriter, and same with Death Cab for Cutie. So, and I definitely that's what I've felt like I've connected with over the years. So that's definitely where I want to be
Yeah.
musically.
Not as deep of a question. How do you feel about that postal service?
I love that's a great record. I fucking love that record. But it's not. I don't think it's better than Death Cab, and I don't feel like people should compare the two because Ben didn't write all the songs. He
Right.
definitely wrote the lyrics and, of course, the melody and the guitar stuff he came up with, but it was like Dintel
Yeah.
songs, and he was like, "Hey, sing on this."
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't. Again,
It's different.
it's a very biased opinion too, since Death Cab is my favorite band. But when people are like, "Postal Service is better," I'm like, "You don't get it. That's fine. You're wrong."
I don't think postal service is better. I think it's just a different album. Like it's a different
Yeah,
name. It's a different thing.
yeah,
I
exactly.
do want more of it, but
I
that'll
wish,
never
but at the
happen.
same time, if it is as special as they make it out to be, then I definitely don't want them to come back and then make a shitty record,
Sure.
Because that Give Up is so good.
Yeah.
That would really suck to get a second one and then it's just terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
What is well, question before that. This is me trying to listen and think of questions at the same time. Can music save the world?
That's a hard question
Yeah, I ask
to
impossible
answer.
questions.
No, it's definitely a great question. I definitely think it's something that can bring people together. having mu so the day John Lennon died and you see those pictures of like everyone surrounding his grave or just coming together in the streets with
Mm-hmm.
candles, that goes to show you how much music really means.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to some extent it can help you become more proactive into doing your part for your community
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Like you said, save the world. I don't know if I'm answering the question.
That's fine.
I I don't know. I don't want to say yes because I mean it's not like a song is immediately going to fix things.
Right, right.
I think it can influence greatness
Mm-hmm.
and positivity. So maybe to some extent a little bit. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It can definitely help.
Um, and then what advice do you have for musicians that are starting out?
If you love music, then do it and don't really listen to anybody apart from like people who are giving you good advice or just
Mm-hmm.
helping you move along and to further your career if that's what you
Right.
want. But do it because you love it and do what you want. Don't let anybody dictate
Mm-hmm.
how you make your music.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I can't stand is when people like you show someone they're like, "Oh, you should do it more like this," or "Why aren't you doing this?" I'm like, "Because I don't want to do that."
Yeah.
Yeah,
um, Changing gears, and there's no good way to transition to it.
perfect.
Spirituality things. What is the role of
Do it.
spirituality or religion in your life?
I'm not religious at all. I I grew up, uh, told to be Christian or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but not due to any like traditional practice or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was told by grandparents that you go to church because it's the right thing to do, and so you can get into heaven.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got older, I just thought it was bullshit.
Yeah.
Believing there's some big guy in the sky watching out for
Mm-hmm.
everybody, dictating your life. That's kind of stupid. So that's just how I've always felt about it.
What sort of pulled you away from it?
Just the so growing up, I didn't really know my dad, but he came back when I was like, or I got to meet him when I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect time, hitting
Yeah.
puberty and all that. So he just kind of opened my eyes to it. It wasn't really, hey, don't believe that. It's just that we talked about it once, and I was like, oh shit, maybe you're right. That makes a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought it was dumb. I just can't stand the idea of, well, I'll say this, organized religion, or
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's so stupid to judge somebody
Mm-hmm.
because you don't believe something.
Yeah.
And, there have definitely been events that have hurt people, gotten people
Mm-hmm.
killed because of religion. So
Yeah.
I just think it's kind of shitty to believe
Mm-hmm.
in that or to hate somebody because they don't believe in that.
Yeah.
So I prefer just to stay away from it.
Yeah. Yeah. Without religion or a higher power or whatever that is, where does good come from?
This isn't a great answer, but I believe good comes from doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess when I say that, I mean, don't be a dick to somebody.
Yeah.
Don't murder anybody or, just be positive.
Yeah.
Don't shit on anybody because, they don't believe in what you believe in.
Right.
I think being a good person should just, be about being positive and treating other people in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best way
Yeah. Yeah.
to sum up being a good person. Yeah. I think so.
What is your definition of God?
I mean, I don't, just from growing up with my grandparents,
Mm-hmm.
it's the big guy in the sky who created everything. Um, but I don't believe in it. I don't believe in him. I just
Okay.
keep to myself.
Yeah.
You know, I will say sometimes I believe that there is this sort of special thing, like this cosmic whatever
Yeah.
that helps you, like, for example, which isn't like a crazy example, but a songwriter thing is when like something like channels you and a song comes
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I kind of get annoyed when people get weird about that, or like, no, I wrote the song, and I'm like, of course you wrote the song, but there is something magical there to where you just a song just flows out and it's an incredible song. Because like songs like that are way better than the songs you've been working on for
Sure. Yeah.
like months most of the time. So I definitely think there is some sort of magic to being like
Yeah. Yeah.
human and like just certain little things in everyday life. But I don't believe it's God or whatever.
Right.
I
Yeah.
just I just think it's something, some special thing that exists.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. I've been trying to work this question in a way that makes sense. Is free will an illusion?
No, because I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to make the choice that you make. I'm going to make the choice to have a Dr. Pepper today because I fucking love Dr. Pepper. Like, why does there have to be some weird reason behind that? You know what I mean? I think people fixate too much on that stuff, and it's just like, just live life. I'm a musician not because I was drawn to it or something's directing me there. I'm a musician because it's the thing that I love so much and was lucky enough to find. So yeah, I mean, like, that's just me doing what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we reduce the division that is so prevalent in our current society, especially in America?
I'm going to need you to dumb down that question, Santiago.
How do we reduce the division?
Division, as in,
People are being very politically angry at each other, or racially angry,
Gotcha.
or whatever other sort of thing that divides us.
Dude, there's no. Today, it feels like it. I mean, I can't speak from
Sure.
personal experience, but it seems like the shit that was going on when, Martin Luther King was, protesting about racism and all that, it seems relevant to today. Like, that shit's still going on. One thing I watched this show the other day called The Rookie, which is like a cop show. And it follows a rookie and his training officer, just day-to-day cop life and stuff. And it's like, here's this glorified ideal of a police officer who does the right thing, and that's what the show like is trying to represent. But it's like, the things that they're leaving out are cops who are shooting the black people in their vehicles just because they're black, or just because you're a certain color. Then that means, oh, you're going to do something wrong. I need to act on that just based off how you look. And it makes me angry and it makes me sick. And it's like, honestly, I don't know how we can fix it other than creating awareness for it. Because it just seems like past events just keep coming back years later. But I mean, in two, I have never felt so embarrassed to be American after the Donald Trump
Yeah.
election. That was disgusting and horrific. And it, like, the next day, I felt so terrible. Like,
Mm.
why? What the fuck happened? You know? But two, I'm not that involved in
Mhm.
protesting, or I'm not too educated in politics. So it's just
Mhm.
hard to like express what to do. But I just believe the best way is like just treat your neighbor with kindness, and
Mhm.
who fucking cares what they look like or what they believe in, as long as they don't try to fucking kill you. I
Yeah.
think that's terrific. But it's definitely gross, and I wish people would stop being so fucking stupid.
Yeah. Um, kind of going a little bit back to music. Is there bad music, quote unquote?
Yeah, there's music. I mean, there's definitely, you have your own taste, so there's stuff you don't like, but I
Mhm.
don't think there's overall everyone's going to agree that this is terrible.
Mhm.
Because I mean, Nickelback's a stadium band,
Yeah.
so
Someone's got to pay for those
someone's
tickets.
got, yeah, right. So I mean, to me, yes, there's some bad music, but then there's really good music too.
Mhm.
So yeah,
What makes music good to you?
for me, ooh, I mean, I like
Ben
soft.
Gibbard,
Ben
for
Gibbard, of
starters.
course. I like that nerdy, soft voice.
Mhm.
Also, just like the way their guitars sound. I definitely miss Chris Walla being in the band, because it
Mhm.
definitely, there's a difference
I like
now.
that the question devolved into
I'm sorry,
just Death Cab, but
but
I started it.
there was definitely, there's like this, there's a very beautiful reverby tone that Death Cab
Mhm.
had when Chris Walla was in the band.
Mhm.
So, and I definitely like that sound. But I like Iron and Wine because it's his hush voice with his very warm guitar
Mhm.
is just very pretty. That connects with me a lot. There's a band I really like called Lowland Hum,
Mhm.
which is a husband and wife, and they're very soft spoken people that
Mhm.
play like nylon string guitars. So just that put together with like a little bit of percussion and a lot of reverb is
Mhm.
just so pretty. That's what I look for a lot.
Mhm.
But too, I like bands like Modest Mouse.
Mhm.
The coolest thing about Modest Mouse are just the way he writes lyrics, and
Yeah.
his lispy voice is so cool.
Mhm.
I like that he can sing pretty and then scream. But also too, his very like he bends notes a
Yeah.
lot. That's like a Modest
So
Mouse
many
thing,
bends and
and it's cool. It definitely makes the music, and it's unique. So
um what makes you happy?
music and comic books. That's how I live life.
Mm.
That's what I survive off of, because comic books are the escape from music, and the music's escape from everything else. But I in a healthy way, not
Yeah,
to get away from everybody.
yeah. um what are you optimistic about for our future?
um, I think a lot of young people are pretty in tune to what's going on politically and just
Mhm.
socially. So I think we're doing a pretty good job at making ourselves more aware of the bullshit
Mhm.
and coming together to create change.
Yeah.
And I think that's really neat, because adults think of us as dumb millennials. And, that may be true in some cases, but
Tell me you've never wanted to eat a Tide Pod.
right? But, we're smart. We know what's going on. We believe that there are evil things that exist, and we know that they shouldn't. So I think older people need to stop thinking that they need to dictate everything and let us in, because we're going to end up having to clean the messes
Mm.
that our parents or older people
Or
that exist
presidents.
now, presidents, we're going to have to clean those messes that they make. So
Mm.
I think it's good that we're trying to start now.
Yeah. Um. What advice do you have for people?
Just be good to one another,
Mm.
and don't think that you know more than somebody. Be open to listening,
Mm.
and don't speak with your fists. Speak with your words.
Yeah.
I think that's very important.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Question I keep forgetting to ask. Uh, what is something about you that people don't normally know?
I I don't know. I think that's pretty. I mean, I think comic books. I mean, it's not like a crazy little known fact, but it's definitely
Mm.
one thing that I don't talk about.
Mm.
Yeah, just a huge comic book nerd.
Do you have a favorite or what do
Right
you?
now, yes, I do have a favorite comic. A book called Saga,
Hmm.
released by Image Comics. Love that book. It's incredible. But there's a book I'm reading right now, which is a superhero story called Invincible, and it's rad. I love it so much because it's a superhero story, but it's trying to focus on this kid who becomes a superhero, but yet he still has real life problems with going to high school, college, having a life, but he also has to save the world at the same time. So it's super cool.
Yeah. Last question. Cake or pie?
Pie,
Great.
cherry pie, love it.
Been having a lot of pie lately. Not eating a lot of pie, but there's been a lot of answers being pie lately.
Will be honest, I felt pressured to say pie, but I do love cherry pie
Yeah.
almost more than cake.
Is cheesecake pie?
Is cheesecake not cake?
Hmm?
I consider is cheesecake not a form of cake?
No, but like if you what makes a pie?
Creamy fruit filling and crust on top. Boom.
What's a key lime pie?
Good point,
Yeah.
Santiago.
See, and that's why it's like confusing with
Good point.
cheesecake.
Is cheesecake the mix of both?
That
Key
could
lime
be an
pie?
answer as well. Yeah.
First pie cake?
Yeah.
It's a great question.
Caleb, thank you for doing this with me.
Well, thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun.
Plug your stuff. What do you got going
I'm
on?
playing a thing called Cedar Tree Session in March. I can't tell you when exactly because I don't have the date yet.
Right.
But it will be on my Instagram at Leotie Music.
Yeah.
Please follow me, and I hope to see you at the shows. Also, download karaoke. It's the only song I have out right now, but
Yeah.
more music to come soon.
Yeah.
So follow me and stay tuned.
Yeah. And the best way to listen to music that is not already out is by going to a show.
To the shows.
Yeah.
I'll be there. It's important.
Yeah. Is that all your plugs? Good.
Yes, sir.
All right.
That is it for me.
Well then, I'm Santiago Ramones.
I'm Caleb Starr, aka Leotie.
You can find everything that I do on my website, santiagoramones.com. I make music. You can download or pay for or do whatever you want with my demo, Songs with Words. It is free or however many money you want to throw down. And I also have this podcast, which you can find on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, on Stitcher, or on Google Play. Spotify hasn't gotten back to me, so you know what? Never mind then.
Curse them.
Maybe I'll try again. But you can also leave comments or reviews, or let me know what you think about the podcast. If you're like, oh, I totally love that he said this, great, say it. I always end my podcast with my 3 things. They shape my life philosophy. Those 3 things are: love never fails, it's going to be okay, I might be wrong.